What's up, guys? Welcome to a brand new YouTube video. It's your girl Nicole, and today we are talking all things nutrition when it comes to building lean muscle. More specifically, what and exactly how much you should be eating every single day to put on lean muscle mass. If you have not been living under a rock in 2024, you've definitely been targeted by some type of ad pushing the newest diet that is proven to work. But let me just tell you a little secret. Any diet that requires you to cut out specific foods or food groups is absolute bullshit. I can say this with so much confidence because I myself was able to lose weight and build muscle steadily over the years without dieting and without doing excessive cardio or like literally any cardio. And I've also coached multiple women doing the same thing. They have the goal of body recomposition, putting on lean muscle mass, and having that toned muscular look. All of this was possible without restricting specific foods. In fact, most of them are actually eating more than they were when they came to me with the goal of losing weight and building muscle. Before I spill all the simple secrets on nutrition, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and like this video if you found it helpful. Now let's get into it. There are three main macronutrients. We have protein, carbs, and fat. I'm going to go into each one of them individually, but I'm also going to drop a list in the description of all of my favorite sources of each. So first, let's start with my personal favorite, protein. If you have any type of physique goal, especially if your goal is to build muscle in the gym, you need to be eating enough protein. This is nothing new, we all know this. So think animal meat like grass-fed beef, organic chicken, pork, fish, eggs, all of those things. Protein has a whole bunch of benefits, but mainly it repairs the muscle fibers and the tissues that you break down in the gym so they can grow back bigger and stronger. If you're in the gym working really freaking hard to build muscle and change the way that your body looks, but you're not eating enough protein, you are literally wasting your time. Later on in the video, I will get into how to calculate your macros based on your specific goal, but a general rule of thumb is to eat 0.8 to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight or your goal body weight if you're overweight and you have a lot of weight that you want to lose. Next, we are on to carbohydrates. Carbs are the body's preferred source of energy. I said it, yes, preferred source of energy. Carbs are not bad. Carbs are actually so freaking important in your overall health. So think potatoes, rice, fruits, vegetables, honey, cereal, all those things. Slower digesting carbs can help sustain energy levels and prevent rapid spikes in your blood sugar throughout the day, and this is super important. And finally, fats. So aside from being delicious, fats play a crucial role in your overall health. They store energy within the body. They help with hormone regulation. So ladies, this is huge, 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 huge. And they're also required to absorb certain fat-soluble vitamins, A, D, K, E. Fats are the slowest digesting macronutrient, so that's why I say to avoid eating a super fat-heavy meal before you train, because you don't want to be feeling sluggish and full when you're going into your training session just because they take longer to pass through your digestive system. Fat is the most calorically dense macronutrient, so there is 9 calories for every 1 gram of fat, and then for protein and carbs, there is 4 calories for each gram of that macronutrient. So now that we've laid the foundation, you have a basic understanding of each macronutrient, protein, carbs, and fat, what it does and why it's important. Now we can figure out your specific macros that you should be eating every single day to reach the goals that you have set in place. There are plenty of calculators online, but I like using my method because the online calculators do not take into account a lot of different factors in your life, like stress, how much food you've already been eating. Like think about this. If you put your information into a calculator and it tells you what you should be eating, and this is what you should be eating, but you're currently eating way differently, if you make a 0 to 100 switch to that, your body's gonna be like, what is happening? So with my method, I meet you where you're at and we make small changes over time that habit stack, and eventually you'll get to where you want to be by making these small adjustments in your overall lifestyle. Stacking small habits is how you make sustainable changes in your lifestyle, and that's how we do things here. The first and most important step is to download MyFitnessPal or your calorie tracking app of choice and track your food to 1 to 2 weeks. This will give us our true baseline of how much food you're currently eating. One super important thing to understand is that you need to be using a food scale. You can plug numbers into a calorie tracking app all freaking day and it'll tell you what you're eating. But if you're being inaccurate with the amounts that you're inputting, literally what is the point? There is no point. It's going to give you inaccurate results. If you're going to take the time To track your food, be accurate. I also want to make sure that you're taking progress photos and weighing yourself in this time. This is super important. The whole point of tracking your macros accurately is so that you can learn how much food and nutrients your body needs to thrive so you can eat intuitively for the rest of your life. Put in the time and effort now so you can be so much more flexible. After tracking your food for a week or so, we now have data that we can look at and see how much you're actually eating. Maybe you're severely under eating protein, or maybe you're eating a shit ton more fat than you thought you were. Like that peanut butter that you slab on your toast every single morning, that shit adds up. Once you start to weigh it and see like, oh dang, that's actually not 1 serving, that's like 2.5. This is where the knowledge comes in. That's how you learn. If you don't know where you're starting, how can you make changes to get to where you want to be? Think about it this way. If you're on a road trip and you want to get to Montana and you're looking at the map, but you don't know where you're freaking starting, are you starting in California or are you starting in Indiana? Like, you need to know your starting baseline, and then we can get to where you want to go. So now you just need to identify if you're currently losing, gaining, or maintaining your weight. If you're losing weight, you're currently eating below your maintenance calories. If you're gaining, you're eating above. And then if you're maintaining your weight, you are eating at your maintenance calories. Find the average of your calories for this 1 to 2 weeks, and that is your starting point. So to make this a lot easier to comprehend, let's use an example of Jessica, who is an 135-pound female who is wanting to get freaking jacked, okay? And let me just remind you, building muscle and training hard in the gym is not going to get you looking like an absolute She-Hulk walking around, okay? Like, you're not gonna be walking around like this just because you put in time and effort and train till failure in the gym. Will you look sexy and lean? Yes, but will you look like a man that is sauced out on steroids? No. So Jessica is currently eating around 1,700 calories on average, and she is not building muscle like she's working so hard to do, so she knows she needs to start eating more. From here, we're going to set our protein goal. We always set the protein goal first and figure everything else out following that. So like I said in the beginning, you can go anywhere from 0.8 to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. For her, we're gonna meet it right in the middle. We're gonna do 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So 1 times 135 gives us a goal of 135 grams of protein per day. Now remember, if you want to build muscle, you have to eat. You cannot build a lean, strong physique while eating in a constant caloric deficit. I promise, if you are training hard in the gym, your body is going to be begging for more calories. And the more food that you give it, the more comfortable your body will be and the more adaptive it will be to the changes that you make. And your life will just be so much better. Eating more is not a bad thing. Starving yourself, that is not the answer. So with 135 grams of protein per day, that equals 540 calories because there is 4 calories per 1 gram of protein. If we subtract that from her current average, 1,700, so 1,700 minus 540 gives us 1,160 calories remaining to build with carbs and fats. So from here, we can either get more technical and figure out exactly how much carbs and fat she should be eating, or we can keep it more simple. If we go the simple route, Jessica can just set a calorie, protein, and fiber goal. So with a protein goal of 135, we got that figured out, and now a calorie goal. We know she wants to build muscle. She needs to be eating more to gain muscle. So what Jessica can do is increase her calories by 50 to 100 every week or so based on her body's feedback. Protein goal is going to stay the same. We're gonna leave it at 135, but her calories will be increasing every 1 to 2 weeks. So say week 1 looks like 1,750 calories with 135 grams of protein, and then week 2 could be 1,800 calories with the same protein goal. Week 3 could be 1,850 or 1,900. And this is why it's so important that you're taking progress photos and weighing yourself, because you can see the changes that are happening in your body and then make adjustments based on that. Aside from just the physical changes in your body, keep track of your biofeedback. So what is your energy levels like? How was your digestion change? How has your recovery been? Eating more food will allow you to recover quickly, and it's going to put your body in a more comfortable state. But this is only if you're training hard in the gym. You can't expect to just eat more and train like a little bitch and see actual results. You need to be pushing yourself in the gym. That is so important. That is like literally a fundamental thing, to be training with intensity and then also eating enough food to recover and get freaking jacked. With the simple route, it does not matter where those calories are coming from. I don't mean like, it doesn't matter if you eat McDonald's or if you eat sweet potatoes. No. It doesn't matter what proportion is carbs or fat. Okay, so as long as you're hitting your protein goal and filling in the rest of those calories with carbs and fat equally and you feel good, that's all that matters. So the final piece with taking the simple route is fiber. Do not neglect the fiber. For women, you should be getting 10 to 15 grams of fiber per every 1,000 calories. So I think it'd be very reasonable for Jessica to have a fiber goal of 20 grams per day. I love to get my fiber from adding fruits and vegetables to every single meal that I have. If you are eating a diet full of high quality, nutrient dense, whole foods, you will not have an issue getting your fiber in. So now let's talk about the more technical route where you figure out all 3 specific macros. If you're going balls to the wall in the gym and you're optimizing every single area in your life, why not get super specific with your nutrition? This is what I do, and depending on where my clients are at, we will either start with a protein and calorie and fiber goal and then go to all 3 macronutrients, or if they're already at that higher level, I just throw them a whole macro protocol and tell them to run with it. All right, so Jessica is eating 135 grams of protein. I've said that about 8 million times so far. But now, how much carbs and fat should she be eating? So for women, I don't like to see below 45 grams of fat. Just for hormone regulation. I came to learn this firsthand once I dropped my fats significantly below that, and also my output in the gym was way too high for my body to sustain, and that is why I lost my menstrual cycle. So it's really important to support your body hormonally by having at least 45 grams of fat daily. We're gonna set her fat goal at 50 grams, which will give us 450 calories. Now, how does that make sense? There's 9 calories per every 1 gram of fat. So 50 times 9 equals 450. So now total, from our protein, we got 540 calories, and from our fat, we have 450 calories. That leaves us 710 calories remaining for carbs. Because there is 4 calories per 1 gram of carbs, we're going to divide 710 times 4, and that's going to give us 177 carbs. So based on Jessica's current caloric intake of 1,700 calories, that could be broken up ideally into macros of 135 grams of protein, 177 carbs, and 50 fat. That is just her starting point. Because she wants to build muscle, we need to increase her caloric intake. Your girl's gotta eat if she wants to grow. So just like we did with the simple route, we want to increase calories by 50 to 100 every week or so, depending on her body's feedback. So this could look like week 1, 135 protein, 177 carb, 50 fat, that's our baseline. And then for week 2 or 3, we can have 135 protein, 190 carb, and 50 fat. Jessica should pay attention to how her body is changing, her energy levels, her digestion, her recovery, all of those things, and make adjustments based on that. On top of Jessica's full macro protocol, she should also have a fiber goal of 20 grams of fiber per day. At the end of the day, you just need to understand that the body thrives off of consistency. If your body can trust you to feed it at the same times every single day, giving it enough nutrients, it's going to be so much more adaptive to whatever changes you make. Skipping meals or feeding your body super irregularly is seriously the worst thing that it could do. If you start to view your lifestyle through the lens of how can I support my body the best, this shit will be so easy and it will make so much more sense. And remember, it's not just about the quantity of food that you eat, but the quality, okay? If you're eating 70 to 80% processed garbage, you're gonna feel like garbage. If you prioritize nutrient-dense whole foods that are literally one ingredient, so meat, potatoes, rice, fruit, all of the basic foods, I promise your sleep will improve, your digestion will improve, you'll feel less stressed, and you'll stop freaking craving sugar 24/7. Treat your body with respect and it will respect you right back. So there is no one size fits all approach to this, okay? Like I gave you a pretty simple approach to tracking your macros, but what if you've been severely under eating or chronically dieting for the past 5-10 years? Like you've been trying to eat 1,200-1,500 calories forever. You can't go any lower. Your metabolism needs to be repaired, and that is where this kind of gets into the weeds. So depending on each situation, every protocol will be different. If you listen to this and you're like, okay, 9 calories per 1 gram of fat, and then I should be eating 50, no lower than 45 grams of fat, like blah, blah, blah. And if you're overwhelmed, listen, I understand, and that is why the women that come to me are like, listen, I'm trying to get freaking jacked. I'm trying to look hot and feel confident. Tell me what I need to eat and what I need to do in the gym so I can get there. That is what I do. So if you're interested in having someone tell you exactly what you need to eat and how you need to train to reach your specific goals, in my program, you will receive an individualized nutrition protocol that meets you exactly where you're at, where you can make small changes to get you where you want to go, a customized workout plan, and weekly video check-ins to hold you accountable. On top of that, you will have access to a group chat of women that are all working towards the same goal. Proximity is power, and you are who you surround yourself with. So if you can have contact with women that are all working to become the strongest, most confident version of themselves, there is not a single doubt in my mind that you will evolve to become that version of yourself as well. My one-on-one coaching application is the first link in the description. Fill out the application so we can have a quick conversation to see if we'd even be a good fit. I promise you, it's not about a diet. It is about creating a lifestyle that you can stick to consistently that allows for flexibility and allows you to go out and be social while still making progress to your goals. Both can exist at the same time, I promise. You just have to put in the time to learn what your body needs to thrive first, and then you can go out on your own and look at a meal and be like, okay, I need more protein here. Oh, I need more carbs before I train now. I need, XYZ. You'll know exactly what your body needs and you'll be so much more in tune. I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you're brand new here, please hit that subscribe button. I love to grow the family and I'm really working to share all the knowledge that I have so every single one of you that watches this video can go into the gym or go into the kitchen and be confident as fuck that you know you're on the right track to getting to where you want to be. And also remember to like this video because it really helps grow the channel. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next one.